Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori. We have a stream going on. It's an alliance stream from Sin and Glory
Sin and Glory.
and the Epic Underground. The first song on tonight is Skid Row, Youth Gone Wild, and this is what the Alliance Sin and Glory has to say. At Sin and Glory, we gave an opportunity for each member to suggest 2 themes that we could use to select songs from, and voted on each of these themes. One of these themes that won was Then and Now, which was put forward by our Chero. This theme had us choosing an artist or a band and choosing 2 songs, one from early in their career, Then, and one from later on their career, Now. The band that won was Skid Row, which was put forth by Mad Maestro. The first song is Youth Gone Wild, which was released off of their self-titled debut album released back in 1989.
All right, here we go. Skid Row. The name of the song is Youth Gone Wild.
Yep, we were just hardly born.
And we're getting chippy here. All right. Here we go. Youth Gone Wild. Let's check it out. If I can get this damn...
Should I tell all the kids? Remember we used to have all the kids shut off the internet?
No, I don't think that's the issue.
Okay.
I don't think that's the issue.
All right.
It's your computer. Whoa.
Another misfit kid, another burned out town. I never
would have thought you were pretty cool. What happened? Are we locked out? What's happening?
It was muted again. This freaking computer. We're live now, though.
Okay. Wait, what were we just saying?
This thing is not impressing me today at all.
What were we just saying? Becky was calling to tell
Becky's
us.
calling us to tell.
She's like, it's muted,
They
you
can't
idiots.
hear us, you morons.
We're back.
God curse
I
this
kept
computer.
I kept thinking that they were gonna say we are the youth on fire. I don't know why.
Well, that sounds like something like your church group would have said or something like that. Like, I could definitely see, like, a church group biting off of this song and being like, we are the youth for Christ.
I don't understand. Yeah,
You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure, 100%. I can't believe that when people wanted to show us Skid Row, this was not the song they showed us.
I know. This has to be one of their bangers, though.
Yeah, and they
Because,
were
like, the song is
literally-
expiring as hell, and they got that Iron Maiden type riff.
Yeah.
And he went right with that shit. That made me feel a little better.
It was
that
fun.
his chorus went right exactly on line with the guitar riff, because that's pretty much where my writing is right now.
So it made you feel better. Oh,
Yeah. Shout out to Skid Row for that.
Okay, all right. Since I was born, they couldn't hold me down. Another misfit kid, another burned out town. Man, I'll tell you must not have felt like that though.
Well, I mean,
you were in New York.
But I lived in Florida too, and
And it felt like it didn't feel like Maine where I came up.
Nothing feels.
I would have understood this.
Nothing feels like
burned
Maine.
out town.
Nothing feels like Maine, but every kid feels that way about where they're born.
Not Dorian. He wants to stay right where he.
Well, that's true. Dorian's the exception. He
Definitely the exception of the rule.
but I'm sure though that once he gets a taste of another way to live,
Yeah, it's
he'll
gonna be
change.
over.
He'll change his tune.
Yeah. Another misfit kid, another burned out town. I never played by the rules. I never really cared. My nasty reputation takes me everywhere. I do think that, like, okay, so Orion is 3, and he has some days where he's like, he's bad. He just won't be good. He's just like, and he looks like, you're gonna have to tell
Bad
me.
fail that kid.
There are some days where he's good and he'll tell me, I'm a good boy today. And like even if he does like a mistake, he'll say, no, I didn't do that. I'm a good boy. Like, cause he thinks, well, he wasn't trying to be bad, so whatever. But then on the days where he's just like, like today was kind of one of those days. He has this little spinner thing and he like put milk in his mouth and then he spit it out on his spinner and then he was spinning around and make the milk go everywhere. He knows he's not supposed to make a mess like that. Now he had to clean it up. But anyway, the point is, like, I think that there's a lot of teenagers that get misunderstood as being like bad or like he got a nasty reputation, but I'm not so sure like everybody's doing all this badness. You know what I mean? Like, I think that people are like, you broke it. Like, for instance, Orion spitting the milk on that thing. Like, it didn't damage anything. Like, he cleaned it up. It wasn't the end of the world. But I think that people could, that whole thing, like, don't cry over spilled milk. Like, I think that, like, people put all this pressure, I think, on teenagers to be a certain way, or they, like, make them have, like, bad reputations. Like Reza, you could easily see how somebody could say that he was bad, but he doesn't necessarily, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure how many times teenagers, like, kind of react out, they're actually reacting to the environment that they've been given, rather than this is what they would have done if they would have, been given some more understanding.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see that to a degree. Teenagedom, especially in the Western world, is a very it's a very tricky situation, and it's not universal. Like this period of adolescence and things like that. That's not a universal phenomenon around the world.
Right.
A lot of places basically once you hit 12 or 13, you're basically looked upon to be as responsible as a man. Mm-hmm. And so, like, teenagedom in the Western world, this transitional period to where you're like kind of an adult, but not an adult. Mm-hmm. You want independence, but you're not independent. So your parents are telling you have to be home by a certain time, and you're like, yo, I'm 16. You shouldn't be telling me what to do. And then the parent says, well, when you're under your own roof, you can make your own rules. Mm-hmm. So there's that tension between the two, mm-hmm. And like, as soon as I told my mom, like, I can live on my own, she said, no, you can't. You're a head case. Get out. You ain't going nowhere. So then, you know,
She underestimated though.
right out of the right out of the psych ward, it was like, she was like, all right, come back home, blah blah blah, and I was like, nah, I don't want to live around you. Like, it's not a healthy environment.
Is that because of what the doctor said?
Yeah. Well, the doctor said, yeah, like a lot of your issue, you do have like some genetic issues as far as depression goes, but as far as like going to the extent that you did, a lot of that is environmental, and you know, there was enough, you know, may Allah have mercy on her, but she provided enough material to where observers were able to say, this is probably not a good environment for this kid to go to. But, you know, it was one of those things where, because my stepdad worked in the railroad industry, I don't know what happened, but essentially I was eligible for a benefit until I turned 18 if I went to school. So they basically said, here you go, here's this dingy apartment, and if you stay in school, you'll be covered for like 6 months. And that's what I did. And then at the end of the 6 months, I, you know, went to Burger King, got a job. Or like, I would have rather died than gone back home. I would have died. Which would have been a big deal to me, considering how I ended up in that circumstance in the first place. But like, yeah, I would have rather died than go back there. You know what I'm saying? Like, she called me up like a couple months later, like, you proved your point, blah blah blah. I'm like, now that I live by myself, like, I never want to. Like, why would I do? You see what I'm saying? Like, but
yeah.
But again, I was like 17, 18 years old. That's still late as far as like independence goes. You know what I'm saying? As far as like what you're supposed. Yeah, I'm talking about like the world history and
because
and
it seems like Americans as of like this time period, it seems like there's like, I don't know, maybe I don't know the numbers, but it seems like there's a lot more people that you can think of that are not doing anything with their lives. 30s, 40s, 50s, like, still people still like a 15, 16-year-old, like, not a lot of direction, not a lot of drive.
Well, yeah, adolescence has essentially been extended.
Stretched right out.
Yeah, it's extended to like 25 now, because dudes aren't marrying her, you know, as early as they used to.
But what happens is sometimes it never turns back around. Like, you have certain privileges when you're young that you don't have when you're old.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
You know, like, there's so many times where I tell the kids, I'm like, you have no clue right now. Like, everybody feels stressed wherever they are. Like, whatever you're doing, you feel like you're doing a lot. I'm like, these people, they have no clue. I mean, a typical homeschooler homeschools for 4 hours. Most kids go to school for, 6 to 8 hours, right?
Delaney, my mom wanted to put me in a psych ward because she's crazy. I ain't gonna touch that one, Delaney.
Yikes.
But, like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I was crazy. I mean,
yeah, but both of you guys needed help.
Yeah. My mom. I mean, she didn't really make the call. I mean, obviously, ending up in the hospital the way I did, like, that wasn't really her call. I mean, it was out of her hands at that point. Right. Yeah. I mean, she wanted me there, but it was out of her hands. But yeah, like. Yeah, when you're young and you're a teenager, it's like, but there was also a lot of pressure. I remember in high school, like, especially around junior year, you start seeing your friends getting these letters back from colleges and shit and universities, and I just wasn't there, man. Like, I was surprised that, you know, I got to 10th grade. You know what I'm saying? And I was surprised that, you know, I was still in that school. That was one of the bad consequences of moving around a lot. Like, there was a lot of times when, like, I didn't go to a graduation or whatever because we just moved. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you spend, like, a good 4 or 5 months in the school, you know, you're getting your grades up or whatever, and, like, there's no there's no nothing. And then you land in some place. And sometimes if we'd land in a place and it'd be, like, 4 or 5 weeks left of school, my mom would just keep us. She would just say, screw it. And, you know, we weren't going to volunteer to go to school. So by the time I hit high school, like, my grades were not at a place where I was going to graduate on time. And, like, even if I did graduate on time, it would be, like, with a D. And so, like, you get other people, friends that are starting to get these letters. And they're talking about, like, where they're going and what they're going to do. And I remember, like, feeling panicked. Like, I remember one of my friends, he was goofy, just a real goofy kid. He didn't even hang out with us, but he was just kind of a goofy kid. He was getting like 3 or 4 letters, and he was going to be a pharmacy tech or some shit. I'm like, this kid is a goof troop, and he's going to be a pharmacy tech. Like, what am I going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
did you have the words of, you know, you've mentioned before that somebody was said that you're only gonna work at a convenience store.
Oh yeah,
like, was that also
yeah,
in your head? I mean, everybody's getting the letters.
Of course,
and...
yeah, of course. And I heard from one of my, you know, my mom, God bless her, but she was telling my little brother he's gonna work at 7-Eleven for the rest of his life. Blah blah blah. That was the first time I.
Do you think that added to the mental breakdown?
No.
Oh wait, what were you just gonna say?
That was the first time I considered like anything relative to the military.
Oh really?
I was like, well, I know I can fight. You know,
Yeah.
I know I can.
Yeah.
I know I can keep my head in a bad situation. And so it's crazy because that summer, there was a summer right before 9/11. I was watching the History Channel and they had done this big thing on D-Day and the Ranger bat and all this, and like I became obsessed with the Rangers, the Army Rangers. I didn't know anything. I didn't hear about any Navy SEAL shit until I came to Maine actually, and our neighbor helped me move in, and he just got done his rotation. This is like 2 months before 9/11. He had just gotten out.
Oh, he just got out?
He had just gotten out, and
Did he regret it?
Well,
Such
I mean,
interesting.
some of the stuff that he did, you know, it's like the first time, like he had a guy on a scope, and it was his turn to drop the dude. You know, he talked about like having a problem with that.
Yeah.
But
no, I didn't mean that, but that is also an interesting question. I meant, did he regret getting out? I mean, right before 9/11.
I never talked to him because after
But he wanted
9/11
to fight,
happened,
you know what I'm saying?
After
Like-
9/11 happened,
So you don't know if he jumped back in or anything like that.
Nah,
Like, I feel like
nah,
that put a lot of
that guy-
strain on a relationship, I think.
yeah, him and his wife used to like do karate and shit outside. Like,
Oh, they
I'd
were the couples that did that?
I'd watch them,
Oh,
and
okay.
they, you know how crazy those dudes are with fitness and shit. Like, I mean, they're maniacal. But yeah, like that was the first time I ever thought to myself, like, yo, maybe I should do the military because like I'm not good at anything, and everybody's like, you know. And then I thought, you know,
That's so crazy because I, like, literally, you're good at. I mean, there's a whole, like, there's so many things that if you just put your mind to it, you're good at.
yeah, but at the time, like, I'm not, I don't learn things conventionally. I don't do things conventionally. My mind doesn't work conventionally. You know, it's a weakness in some areas and a strength in other areas. But because of that, you have to talk to me and get to me in a certain way. And a lot of it is just tell me what to do and then tell me I have this much time and I'll figure it out. And like the process of getting there, of figuring out something difficult inside of a deadline, like I love that shit. I love the pressure. I love all that. But that's not how normal school is formulated. It's not how businesses formulate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something where like I had to, once I got into the working world, I did much better because the working world was basically a meritocracy and a competition. If you can outdo people, and I figured out, aside from all the racial shit or whatever, if you can be better than everybody and you can convince that company that you're making them the most money, then they're going to keep you. So once I figured that out, you know, my career took off, you know, and I was able to leverage, you know, but yeah, it was a hard time as a teenager, man, because nobody told me. Everybody was like, you're going to be a loser. Like everybody was like, "You're gonna suck."
Not that teacher though.
Yeah, I had
Your
English teacher.
Your lit teacher.
My English lit teacher believed in me and thought I was like the next Malcolm X or some like white lady.
Saw it. She saw it.
She saw. You're right. She saw it. But everybody else, it was like,
Yeah.
you know, forget. So my thing was like, I'm definitely,
did she see that? Do you
definitely.
know?
I have no idea. I have no idea how she saw it.
You must have answered some question. I bet you anything. She asked some. This is how I always try to figure. I always think of. Well, I don't always think about it, but when I do think about the story, I picture that probably what happened is she asked some question in class, and you did know the information, and she did not think. You know, like whenever there's in the movies
Yeah, we were
or whatever.
talking about Lord of the Flies, and she was asking why the kids were wearing masks, and everybody was like Halloween, blah blah blah. I'm like.
And you said what?
I said to maintain anonymity, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I was annoyed by it. She was like, "What?" You know, she thought
Yeah.
it was like the biggest thing in the world, and I was like,
But
"Oh."
everybody comes with
And
the
it's
basic
obvious.
idea that it's Halloween-y.
It was obvious,
And
like,
then that's like this really.
they started doing all this shit to each other.
Yeah,
so
but honey,
obviously
if
they're
you
not
look
gonna
at the
wanna-
situation and you have all your students are saying Halloween and you have one that gets it, you're like, holy shit, finally one gets
Yeah,
it.
she thought. But that's the thing about teenagers. That's why, I think I've adopted the love for teenagers that you have because.
I think you are coming around to it too.
Yeah, because you love that little time period in their life when the boys are goofy and
I do.
they're trying to figure themselves
it's
out. It's
almost like non-stop teasing with Johan and I. He's always trolling me. I'm always doing stuff to troll. I just had him locked out of the house yet. I was cooking and he took my barbecue sauce and went out the front door with it laughing. It was cold outside. So I followed behind him laughing. I shut the door and I stuck my foot so he couldn't get back in the house. And of course now he's 14. So it was like humiliating because he couldn't get back in. His mom was holding the door shut. But when he got back in, I was like, honey, it's literally a rubber sneaker. You'd have to push rubber across the carpet. That's the only way to get the door open because I had leveraged my foot in there. But yeah, it's a blast. I'm having a real blast with the boys. I'm hoping that, I'm going to get more time with the girls to kind of tap into the blast side of the girls too, because I never really got like that because they're different. They're not like, they don't banter like boys do.
What, the girls?
Girls are just, they're different, and I have to,
Yeah, but I definitely, like, this would have been my anthem if I'd have got this growing up. Even, even in the early 2000s, it still would have been my anthem.
89.
Yeah, because that's true. Like, feeling like you're always on trial. Like, I was a middle child.
Yeah, it's just constant.
So, like, and then, of course, we go out into the field and there'd be cops and all that shit, and they're always looking at you. The thing is that the cops, like, 9 times out of 10 when the cops were grilling me and shit and hey, because they'd always mess with you, like, do you have anything on you, blah, 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 blah. Because I left New York right before stop and frisk, so they couldn't just go and just, like, feel you up. We'd have been in a lot of trouble. But, like, they would ask you and all this, and it was like a cat and mouse type game. So you were always on trial, especially me. But the thing is, by the time I became a teenager, 9 times out of 10, the people accusing me were right. See what I'm saying? Because now I did get to the point where I'm like, you know what? If everybody's gonna keep saying this about me, I'm just gonna, like, validate the shit. Because I didn't see the value. I didn't see the value in being actually innocent if I kept getting in trouble. Like, I remember very clearly a conversation with my older brother. I'd be like, yeah, but I'm getting in trouble all the time anyway, and I'm still getting, like, the consequences of being, and I'm still getting introduced as being the bad one in the family, and always dragging down the family. So
why not just do the stuff?
Why I'm not getting any pleasure out of this? I'm not getting any enjoyment.
But there's something that people always misunderstand I think that people don't recognize the value of, I guess, peace inside or not having darkness inside of you, especially if you slowly become more and more dark. You don't realize, like, how dark it's being inside. So when you get accused of something and you're actually innocent, if you can just settle it in yourself and say, like, between myself and God, I know I'm innocent, and these people think that I'm guilty, but that's whatever. But if you do the dumb shit that you and I both did, where we're like, we're gonna get accused of it, we might as well do it. But when you actually do those actions, there is a certain darkness that you let into your soul that does have an effect in your life as you carry it out. I mean, I
don't know.
Oh, God. Go ahead.
I don't feel like it made me a fundamentally dark person by
doing the things that you were being accused of doing?
Yeah, from my mom's side, yeah, because my mom didn't know half the shit I was doing. And I didn't feel bad about carrying shit when the cops were coming after me, because I'm like, but were you they're going home to the suburbs, man. The question is, did you do anything sinful as a result of you saying, fuck it, you're going to accuse me of this, I'm going to do it? Well, of course, but
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that made me a particularly dark person.
Does it darken a person?
Not more than any other normal sin would darken a person. I don't think that there were, like, I don't think it made me, like, uniquely corrupt.
No, I didn't say anything about uniquely
because,
corrupt.
like I said, the shit that my mom was accusing me of was like child's play. It wasn't even the things that I was really on. She wasn't even knowledgeable about the shit that I was really about. You see what I'm saying? So I'm getting accused of, like, stealing a penny when I'm making a living robbing banks would be the analogy. So like, that stuff didn't make me into a dark person. It looked like your experience of, like, saying fuck you to your
so you
parents.
Were just that definitely yeah.
But the shit that they were accusing you of was worse than what you were actually doing.
True. Oh,
see what I'm saying? The shit my mom accused me of was a lot less than what I was actually doing. See what I'm saying? Because she couldn't conceive of somebody from our household doing X, Y, and Z. That's my point. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the accusations...
That is so interesting.
The accusations hurt me in the sense of, like...
Why do you think
so little of me?
What do you mean? She was accusing you of less than what you were doing.
Yeah, but she was still accusing me of something I didn't do. So that hurt my feelings because it's my mom.
Really?
Yeah, because my mom. But as far as, like, did the things make me object? Nah, it didn't make me darker. I mean, me being upset about being accused made me dark, and I'd go, you know, you could take it out on other people, but... Or they take it out on you, but... Like, yeah, it didn't make me a particularly dark person. I know you're probably trying to communicate some spiritual truth to the youth, but listen to her. Don't listen to me. It'll make you a dark person. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely can see it. I'm still confused as to... I mean, that's your experience. And I can't even imagine my parents accusing me of doing something less than what I was doing and being upset about that. Like, if I was robbing banks and they were like, I can't believe you're stealing pennies from old ladies, I'd be like, okay. Like, for me, I don't feel like that would affect me. But I was accused of doing worse than what I was doing, and that was really hurtful. So it's hard to even imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like you being upset about that makes a hell of a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, because they're like, you're this type of person. The thing is, I was that type of person. I was fighting it, though. That was what the trouble was.
Yeah, so how could you get dark when they read you properly?
Because I wasn't doing it. But now I said, yeah. Honestly, they were, to be honest with you, if we could just have an honest conversation, I would probably say they were a convenient foil because I wanted to do the things that they were accusing me of, but I was fighting that shit. And then when they started accusing me of it, I was like, well, now I'm gonna have to do it. But I kept telling myself, like, this makes me feel better because I'm fighting a man, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I could feel that it was not good for me.
They definitely captured that youth angst in the song.
Yeah, they did such a great job.
And if I was a young person listening to that shit, this would be my jam. I would blast this shit to the rooftops.
And he didn't make it just about himself. He wasn't just
he said,
they call me a problem child. It's us. We spend our lives. It's like this, like all of us that are in the same situation. Let's come together.
That's when I discovered
Skid Row, man.
That's why when I discovered Korn, they had like the whole thing. Oh, you're a Korn kid. The Korn kid's going crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm a Korn kid. Fuck that shit. Yeah, I'm a Korn kid. I don't care what y'all say. I was proud of that shit. It's like Korn kid for life, bitches. I really like the song. I like the song a lot. This has got to be one of their bangers. It's like a 9.7, but this has got to be
9.8.
This has got to be one of their popular songs.
So this was at the beginning.
I'm not familiar with a lot of these bands, but I could tell when I'm like, yo, that had got to be at least like a top 10 song. Like if we had like a Revo style thing and Revo would tell us like where they ended up in the top 10. This has got to be a song for by the way, shout out to Sean James, by the way. LaShawn James.
Shout out to my Aunt Lisa. Skid Row's her band, right? Wasn't that the big one from back in the day?
Yeah, I think it was. Shout out to Aunt Lisa. Gang shit.
All right, you guys.
You can send her this review. I'm sure your Aunt Lisa was part of the youth gone. Was that the one I saw when
the blonde one?
Oh yeah. She was definitely on some shit. I guarantee. Aunt Lisa, don't lie. Was it Matem? Is that how you say it?
No. That's the other side of the family. Matel would be on that side of the
Don't lie, Aunt Lisa. We know you out there. The Skid Row and shit.
Having fun.
With the neon colors.
Rebelling.
Rebelling and shit. Probably saying words like shit.
All right. Yeah.
We are the youth gone wild. Yeah, this has got to be a classic song. Got to be a classic song.
Oh no! Don't tell Sori.
The lead singer is called Sebastian Bach.
I changed my mind about the rating of this song.
Speaking of Archero, shout out to Archero, buddy. Love you, gang shit. Okay.
9.8.
9.7.
We're gonna have a special picture coming up later.
Shout out to Aunt Lisa, gang shit. I'll check you later. All right, we shall return, dear listener. The day has just begun.